Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? Nice. Thank you so much for coming. This is titled Morning Dew. We're just going to set the tone. Chris Hamblin on piano. Have you started to color me yet? Because I'm a paintbrush stroke away from perfection, an incandescent light bulb away from genius with lines longer than a 9 to 5 and a rock-solid will that can't be contained. A baller in this game. With an old soul that can rip words from my heart, supply them to you. With this ability to slang meaning and bring forth newfound light of spoken thoughts, I give to you what makes sense in my world. A way to get out and a means to preserve this precious life. So, have you started to color me yet? Because if you haven't, then you should know that my soul shines bright with hues of red, black, and green, and my roots, they run deep. My roots run deep like the pitter-pattered accents of music notes against my ancestors' cheekbones. Brittled hands and crackled feet represented me, reflective of the times when music was used for their survival. Ambient art, articulated by soft silhouettes, a smile who lit a luscious laminate of hope for their future offspring to endure not what they had to. This is the language that my roots speak. Because of their dialect, I can live my dreams, which isn't as hard as it seemed when the roots that run so deep give me the breath to live free. My purpose is to be free. So never mind. I don't need you to color me. Thank you. Thank you so much to CitySpace. Can we give it a round of applause to the artists before us? What an incredible act. Again, my name is Tim Hall. I have Chris Hamlin here and Ryan Garvey here on the guitar. This next piece is titled Shade. It's a piece that I wrote when I first moved here to Boston and was really exposed to a beautiful art community. Also might sound a little familiar for you. So I used to think poetry was just for black people. I was ignorant and new. But I learned that if you have a soul, then you are a poet. And the color of your skin is just the ink you use in your pen. Your experiences are the letters of the words with which you write, and the world you live in is your canvas now. I see dreams being reached as if poetry were a lottery ticket. And the winning number is that piece you wrote last week. I hear wounds being mended as if scars were pencil mistakes on lined paper. Memories erased easily and whole lives were written on stage with a trail of rubber residue slightly left on the page. So you don't forget where you came from. I hear pain and survival as if the mic rewards were 3. And words pierce through every audience member, causing bones to break, fingers to snap, jaws to drop, and thank yous to release from their mouths because you just saved their life. I hear fearlessness in the tone of your iambic pentameter. I used to think my life was just a mess until I found the words to save myself. I feel love and passion, that poet's love, that real love, that I didn't know love until I met you kind of love. That there aren't any words in the dictionary that describe how I feel about you. So when I see you, I stay quiet and let my heart speak us into existence kind of love. And sometimes that love stuff, it gets old, but usually when you stand naked on this stage day after day after day, then you have to love it. And sometimes the only way to love is to write and to write and to write, then speak that love into the atmosphere until forever becomes today, because we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. It is never guaranteed. So never forget that you are a poet. Not bound by the color of your skin, we bleed the same shade of red. So when you step up onto this stage, bruised, scarred and wanting to be heard. Leave a little of your shade on the mic, and you'll never be missed. Thank you. So I'm originally from Detroit, moved to Boston back in 2013 to work at Berklee, and I've been there ever since. And Boston has been such an incredibly beautiful beautiful place and an incredible time in my life to grow. I've created my family here. I've met some of my lifelong friends and have joined and connected to a beautiful community. And thankfully, I have some beautiful parents that have helped to craft me into who I am. This next piece is titled Picture Perfect, and I wrote this piece as a reflection to their love. They just celebrated 40 years married this year. It's been beautiful. Beautiful to see. And my wife and I celebrate 10 years this year together, and we met here in the Boston poetry community, so it's been beautiful. It's titled Picture Perfect. I want to fall for you I don't know yet. So let me love you at your worst and deserve you at your best. Time tells stories of our past and plots thicken as we fall down. But healing is reserved for those courageous enough to be vulnerable. I want to fall for you I don't know yet. So let me push you when you're weak and encourage you when you're tired. Praise your accomplishments, find correlations between your will and your stubbornness. And never forget that the core of our relationship is rooted in acceptance. Flaws are common, but sometimes love isn't. I want to fall for you I don't know yet, so I can remember what scared feels like. Allow it to remind my mind that I'm still alive and that you're really real. I don't think my imagination is playing tricks on me, so I must be doing something right to have met the woman in my dreams. You scare me. When I fall for you, I don't know yet. Because the past, present, and future are the binary between our life. We don't have to be who we were yesterday, but tomorrow is dependent on who we are today. So actually, I love the you I know right now. The past that I hear yet don't see. The future that we will reach, the restraints that we will breach because of our love. Our love is existentially the replication of a time machine playing our best and worst moments over and over and over again. It's the only way to eternally engrave our love into the DNA of our children. So I will say in this time and the next that I will love you until our molecules evaporate into the canvas skyline, perfectly painted into infinity and preserved ever so delicately hanging in the picture above our grandchildren's mantle. Thank you. Ryan. Thank you. You know, I can't be a poet and not come and do some love poems. My father is originally from Savannah, Georgia, so I have some southern roots, and barbecue is a big thing in our house. And this next piece, I kind of speak to. I don't know if anyone here in the room kind of knew what kind of day it was going to be based on like what music or food you smelled in the house. Like depending on what my dad's mood was, I knew how to navigate things based on what was playing. And he's the reason why I became a musician. He introduced music to me, and it's been a passion ever since. So shout out to all the fathers or father figures in the room. This is titled Dad Did. I remember waiting anxiously for my 4th grade music teacher to call on me and ask the question I have been preparing for all week. What instrument would you like to play? And proudly, I said the saxophone. That was after the drums had already been taken, but still. I knew the sax was a good choice because my dad loved jazz and I wanted to make him proud. See, music, set the mood in my house. Brand new heavies coupled with the smell of eggs and bacon mint. I was doing yard work that morning. Some Kirk Whalum and oatmeal sweet scent mint. I can get an extra hour of sleep. And my dad was studying his Bible. The smoky smell of hickory. Earth, Wind & Fire's September. And cocky laughter meant my dad was full of himself. And I was eating barbecue that day. Ooh, this tastes good! It was my cue to run upstairs for a fresh sampling of his creamy mac and cheese right out of the oven. Some good music, a mouthful of food, and a smile on my face was his saving grace. It was his way of showing me why I should be proud of my name. That life is about love and faith. That my word is the most important commitment I can ever make. And if I can get a woman to smile with some creamy mac and cheese, then I can share the same beautiful moment with my kids someday. I remember the long drive down I-75 to Savannah. Mom, sis, and little brother passed out in the backseat, and Dad ranting about his glory days. How he had this huge collection of albums and dabbled on the trombone. I learned about my past on these trips. That music was a time machine shaping the way we viewed the world, our tour guide to a lifelong escapade. I learned that music was the muse of my birth, with pockets of soul and rhythm plastered together in bridge-sized sound waves. We listened to Miles, Coltrane and Quincy, blues and fusion, hip-hop and blackness. My dad used music to open my eyes to a life I was meant to live. I gained the courage to be the me I was most afraid of. Be the voice I never thought I had. Be the salvation I sometimes forgot to pray about. Be beautifully scored masterpiece, etched into the memory banks of everyone I would meet. Who'd have thought? This nervous fourth grader would turn to this man, full of love and faith, with a commitment as strong as his word, and the ability to cook a smile on that special woman's face. My dad, he did. Thank you. I now am a father. My baby boy is a little over a year and a half now, and performing that piece always has an extra depth of emotion that it hits for me. So it's been a blessing to take on that journey. And our concluding piece is titled Trust the Process, which I've needed to do throughout this entire parenting journey. It's a doozy. Learning a lot. But this last piece is titled Trust the Process, and it's a piece that I wrote when I was struggling with writer's block. I don't know if we have any other artists or writers, but the struggle sometimes is real when you're trying to get that creative juice going and it just doesn't flow quite like you hope that it does. So I wrote this piece for myself, and it's become something that I've held on to in so many beautiful ways. Started off as a rock with the words "Trust the Process" painted on it, which turned into a poem, which turned into a book of poems, then an EP, and now it's something that I invite all who listen to take a deep breath and trust themselves and trust their own process. So I need a little crowd participation. Y'all cool with that? Word. So when I raise my hand, I just need y'all to say "Trust the process." Simple. I think we got this. Boom. There we go. Thank y'all. When the day looks impossible, the couch feels comfortable, and sun rays splashing from the bay windows look uneventful. There we go. When a conversation with your partner seems daunting, and words eat away at your tongue's ability to produce them. When depression is the dust that refuses to be swept from the floor, and all you want is freedom from having to clean up the destructive thoughts that fall. When song doesn't sound beautiful and goosebumps no longer scale your arms. When fear is the worn notebook in your book bag, the unopened Evernote app on your phone, or the twice folded Post-it notes dusting your desk that stare and hover and wait and tire and toggle are misplaced, found, and still not used. One, you are tired. The couch is still warm from the imprint in your back. The outside taunts you to smile in its direction. Close your beautiful eyes and let the heat wash your tired away. Two, your words hold value, use them. It is impossible for your partner to know the lining of your mind or heart or hurt. Three, when the dust settles, you will still be a person. All pumping blood, moving limbs, and processing mind. Press your quaking hand against the valley of your chest, the home where your survival lives, the carrier of your liberation for. Sound waves need not an ear to be heard, nor a piece of skin to scare. Listen to the silence of your beautiful body and welcome the music in your story. 5, of your hope, of your healing, of your mindfulness, of your deliverance, of your pen. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause to Chris Hamblin on piano, Ryan Reverser Garvey on guitar. My name is Tim Hall. I have merch out front. You can follow me at TV_Hall on all the social media platforms or my website, timvhall.com. Thank you so much.